Hi guys, Andy Lehman here from freedomskillsacademy.com. So today we're going to talk about, in the Life Bible extracts, today we're going to talk about building your own slush fund, or faux fund as we like to call it, which basically means a fuck off fund, or you can call it fuck you money, as they say. For anybody who doesn't like that kind of language, I sort of apologise, but basically the whole idea behind the FO fund, the faux fund, the slush fund, is that you are in a position where you can tell people and situations that you don't like to sling the hook, basically. It's basically a way of protecting yourself as well and giving you more freedom. So a lot of people at the moment are working from paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of people are struggling, and they are struggling because they are having to work to earn money. They need money in the here and now. Now, obviously, if you're in that position, you're struggling for the money, then building a faux fund, a slush fund, is going to be difficult. It can be done, but you'll need to be working smart. So obviously, have a look at some of our other podcasts that I've done with John. Have a look at our website. You'll probably find ways being able to generate money that will help you build a faux fund. So the faux fund, the whole principle about the faux fund is that you should have at least 3 months worth of money in your bank that will cover you for basically everything. So you work out what your rent is, what your rates are, what your mortgage is, your outgoings, your expenses, and how much you basically be paid for your wages for that 3 months. You need to work out what that is, and then you build up a fund so that you actually have that in your bank account. So that basically means that for that next 3 months, should you lose your job, you are covered. So you can actually find a better job. You don't just jump into the nearest, quickest thing. That is the minimum. A lot of people saying you should probably have at least 6, and I've seen people saying that they should have a year's worth of money. Now, wealthy people, millionaires, they generally build themselves up to the point where they have a faux fund, so they don't have to actually ever work again. They are in a position now where they have the wealth, they have the money, which means that should anything go wrong, should the car pack up, should the boiler pack up, should the roof cave in, they can basically ride out the storm. They have the money that allows them to do that. Now, in the Bible, in the book, the Life Bible, if you go to the website, you can see the link above my head. If you go to the website there, you can get yourself a free copy. It's a physical book, and we are sending it around the world for just a few pounds. I think it is £4 or £5 shipping for wherever you are in the world. It's the same price. But in the book, we talk about a sportsman. I did read this in a book somewhere, and I can't remember which book, and it didn't mention the sportsman, but basically he was a professional sportsman, and he enjoyed the sports more than the money. He wasn't after the money, he wasn't interested in the money, but because he was a professional sportsman, he was able to get to a professional level where he was making lots of money. And once his professional football, his sporting career had finished, obviously a lot of sportsmen, lots of athletes they're only up to possibly in the mid-30s, probably late 40s, early 40s at the most. They have to retire. And after that, like most people, they have to go and find work. But he was in a position, because of the money that he'd earned, he was incredibly grateful that he was in a position that he was able to do what he wanted to do with who he wanted to do it. He called it his fuck off money. So basically, he never had to take a job that he didn't like. He didn't have to work with people he didn't like. And so any situation that came about, anybody who came along, he didn't want to work with, he could just basically say, off you go, sling your hook, I don't want to be with you. So that is the principle of the faux fund, the slush fund, is that you generate and create enough money and you put it in the bank safe so that you are covered for any eventualities, any situations, any circumstances that appear in your life that you don't really want to handle, or you can handle a lot smoother. Now, the idea of having, say, 3 months worth of money in your bank account gives you the opportunity that, say, if you wanted to quit your job, if you wanted to, if you were forced to leave your job, then you didn't have to go out and get the first thing available, the crappiest job going. You don't have to work with people you don't want to, and you've also got that peace of mind, that security. Obviously, you don't want to just sit around for 3 months until the money's gone and then try and find a job. But if you can do 3 months, if you can do 6 months, if you can do 9 months or a year, if you can get enough to cover for a year, then you have the freedom to be able to do stuff that normal people won't do. So again, like I said, trying to get that money isn't particularly easy. But with the Freedom Skills Academy, we do give you ideas on ways to generate money or develop skills that will help you build that money. You could even do it in your spare time or in your full time. Now, there is something I'm going to talk about in another video, which will probably be after this one, and that is that if you haven't got a FO fund, a FO fund, a slush fund, then the next best thing, and it's better than most things, but the next best thing is to get yourself in what they call a F-off career, or a position in a career. You position yourself to be in a position where if you need to not work with a certain people, if you need to leave a company, then you can actually basically leave and then find another job quite quickly. It's reputation, an FO reputation, that's it, an FO reputation. So that is possibly the first thing you can cultivate before you actually get to the FO money. But that's going to be for another video later on. In fact, no, let's do it now. It's basically, because that's it. I've kind of covered it now. So get yourself a slush fund, an FO fund. That is to build a bank of money so that you are protected from circumstances. You're protected from having to do work with other people. But a FO reputation is basically the next best thing. It's probably the first thing you can cultivate. So that basically means that you develop a set of skills that you take into the marketplace, to your industry, your niche, whatever it is, and you create a network as well, a network around those skills where you are getting people coming up to you and asking you on a regular basis if you could do some work for them. It's very good for freelancers. It's good to be in a position if you're like a freelancer, a consultant, but it could also be in many industries. So basically you could network with other companies that are in the similar industry that you're in with your skills. And so should you ever need to leave, they'll probably be on the phone, ringing up to see if you will go and work for them. So try and develop a FO reputation, and then try and develop your FO fund, your freedom skills money, or your freedom money as we like to call it. That's probably a better term, freedom money. And so the whole point of that is like I say, is you work out what your monthly expenses are, everything that's outgoing, whether it's your rent rates, mortgage, your electricity, all your kind of utilities, water, your food bills, even your shop bills. Figure out what your car expenses are, and then also figure out how much you get paid for your wage. And then generally you need to figure that out for that month, and then you try to build up a bank so you have at least 3 months of that in your bank. So for example, let's say it costs you £2,000 to live a month, and you're getting on top of that you're earning like 2,500. Obviously your 2,500 is probably paying for your £2,000 in expenses, but ideally if you can actually have at least probably maybe make it £5,000 per month in your bank account. So for 3 months you probably want like 15,000 to make sure that you are covered. To be fair, that for most people that will probably cover longer, because like I say, what a lot of people are living from paycheck to paycheck. So what they're earning per month, their wages is covering their expenses only just. So like I say, if your expenses are £2,000 and you're earning let's say you're earning £3,000, then technically you only really need £3,000 in your bank account per month. So that's 3, 6, 9 for 3 months. So you need £9,000 to make sure that you're covered for that period. But obviously try and make sure that you're earning more for a comfortable sort of 3 months. But then again, if you are not working in them 3 months, then you can probably batten the hatches and make sure that you can turn 3 months into 4 months. But the whole point of the FO fund or the slush fund is so that you can find another job, change jobs, you can leave a job, do whatever you need to do with the comfort knowing that you're going to be okay for that short period of time. Like I said, develop a FO reputation so that whatever it is that you do, soon as you decide that you want to leave a job, stop working for a client, or if you are made unemployed, people will snatch you up quite quickly. Now there's many skills that you can start working with. For example, as a writer today, if I stopped writing for the clients I'm working for today, I could start writing for others. There's plenty of work out there. I've got the opportunity to find the work if I need it. And I'm also building up a reputation as being quite a half-decent copywriter and writer. So I do know that people approach me in the past and asked me to work for them. and there's times where I've had to turn them down, but obviously, I'm building up a reputation, so that is very handy to have in itself. So I'm going to bring this recording now to a close. This was just a quick short one to talk about the FO fund, the slush fund, the fuck you money, whatever you want to call it, the freedom money. We like to call it the freedom money. So, as I said, and I've said this many times, and I don't want to become across as one of those, those, what do you call them, sort of gurus who keep saying, try to blame you or blame everybody else for not actually making it. Life is hard. There's lots of things going on in people's individuals' lives that means that they struggle to make money or extra money. So I appreciate that it's hard, but if you want freedom and you want to change your life for the better, then one of the first things that you really, really should be thinking about, and that is trying to build what they call the FO fund, the freedom fund, so that you have at least 3 months worth of money in your bank should anything happen. And that gives you the freedom to swap jobs, freedom to stop working for certain people, gives you the freedom to have a bit of time off, gives you like a couple of weeks off so that then you can focus on building up a business. It gives you the opportunity to build up your own business because your 3 months are covered. If you can do more than 3 months, then that's brilliant. If you can do a year, that's fantastic. But as we know, trying to generate a lot of money when you're working hard and tired is difficult. So then you have to figure out what you can do. And this is where, if you go back to some of the previous podcasts, especially those that I've recorded with John, the Freedom Hustles podcast, if you look at those, you will see that we've talked about many ways to create a passive income, which basically means you do the work once and you get paid over and over again. We once did an interview with a woman who was getting paid around £200-300 a month from books that she'd written about 3-4 years ago. She hadn't written anything for a while, but she was still making sort of £200-300. That in itself is kind of like a freedom income. It's a passive income. And if she'd banked that each month for the last 3-4 years, she'd be on her way to building up a freedom fund for herself. So there are ways to generate money with doing little work. There are ways to make lots of money with premium services, such as write a sales letter for a person, charge £1,000 for $1,000 for a simple sales letter which took you half a day to write. You can do that, do several of them, and then you're already starting to build up your fund. So go and have a look at some of the other podcasts and have a look at some of the other videos that I've recorded. We talk about things like that, which could be very helpful for you. Also, don't forget, you can get yourself a copy of the Life Bible book, physical book, at the website. So the link is above my head. Just go to that and get yourself a free copy of that. Right, so I'm going to bring this video to a close, and I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I shall speak to you again soon. Take care and goodbye.